Take it away, Miss Sherrie.
Well, I get to talk about the fun stuff. So, as you all know, the Congress is going to take place at Walt Disney World. If you didn't know, Walt Disney World will be celebrating its 50th anniversary on October 1, 2021. So you're going to be there as the festivities begin. There is also many other things going on at the park. So right now there's four theme parks that are available to visit while you're here in Orlando. And there's also 2 water parks that are on property that you can go to. There's several must-see attractions within the parks. Just to give you a little high-level highlights. Many of you might know that within the last year or so, Hollywood Studios at Disney Hollywood Studios, they just opened within the last year Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. If you haven't experienced it, it's awesome. There's also Toy Story Mania that's going on there. Epcot Center has the International Food and Wine Festival that will be taking place along with the amazing food that's there and available in the park. There's also live entertainment and many different activities where they'll bring in different people to talk about the food and preparation, and it's more than just global. There's 6 continents actually represented within the park, even though there's only 11 countries in the World Showcase area. Animal Kingdom has Pandora, which is the world of Avatar, which is really cool. And obviously their hallmark location and theme park is the Magic Kingdom, which everybody knows and loves that particular park. A few things to think about. You need to prepare now, plan now, because it takes time. A few other within the parks, well, I'll get to that in a minute. Why don't you go ahead and go to the next slide. So before you go, you need to, if you're international and need a letter of invitation, you can get a letter of invitation through us, through Amy. There is information on our website that talks about what actual information we need to be able to process the letter of invitation. You must actually register prior to requesting the letter of invitation. We have to have an actual registration for the event before then. It is also recommended that when you do register, make sure you register for the event using the name that's on your passport. So that way it's easy for visa recognition to have both names match, so there's no confusion there. We typically we will only provide letters to attendees of the event and speakers for presenters to the event. Letters are sent electronically, but if you do need a letter sent via mail, because some countries will require that, we can send them via mail. You can find more information about the whole process on our website, and there's the link to the website there. It's on Amy's website, so www.amy.org. And under events, you can find the ICEHTMC link from there. If you need a visa, you can find the latest information on visas and getting a visa to enter the United States through the U.S. Department of State website, which I've listed on here also. Go ahead and go to the next slide. All right, flying into Orlando International Airport, which is NCO, in case you didn't know, Orlando has more flights with more seats than pretty much any other airport in Florida. Their international arrival facilities actually feature U.S. Customs, border control, checkpoints. You have all the normal things you would have at a global entry point within our country. So there is a mobile passport control. You can get an app, which is actually you can download through Apple or Android. They do have nonstop flights from many international airports, including Frankfurt, Mexico City, Toronto, Bogota, London, and Dubai. Many more. You can look at that on their website. They do have a list of all the flights that you can take that are nonstop. Some of it might be a little bit more restricted because of the flights coming in, but they are opening up new flights on a daily basis coming in from international locations. While you're in the airport, and most airlines require this too, but while you're in the airport, you must wear a face mask at this time. I mean, it could change between now and September, but at this point in time, a face mask is required. And you must follow all social distancing requirements, which is currently 6 feet. Again, that could change in the upcoming months. Hand sanitizer is readily available throughout the airport. And if you lose your PPE or you need some more, you can buy it via vending machines and at retailers at the airport. So that's readily available. MCO, or Orlando Airport, has achieved the Gbac Accreditation, which is for cleanliness and sanitation and sterilization of the airport, and making sure things are just really clean and cleaned repetitively throughout the day, so to make sure stuff stays safe for all of the people traveling within the airport in and out. You can find more information about their protocols. They have a pretty lengthy list on their website, and you can find the links there. And you can find, again, those are travel restrictions, just so you're fully aware of any particular country-specific information you would need is listed on that link there too. It's the State Department of the U.S. So next slide, please. All right, traveling to the hotel from the airport. So there's several different ways you can travel to the hotel. If you're staying at the Disney Coronado Beach Resort, or any other Disney-owned resort on property, there is the Disney's Magical Express. And this is basically bus transportation from the airport to the hotel. And it's free. It's included in your reservation with the hotel. So, but even though it's included, once you make those reservations, if you want to take the Disney Magical Express to your hotel, you do have to make advanced reservations. Those are required in order to take the bus ride there. If you don't have advanced reservations, you would not be able to take the Magical Express. If you've been to Disney before and you've taken the Magical Express, you know that they used to pick up your luggage at the airport carousel and bring it to the bus, and then they'd also pick it up from your hotel room on your way out and back to the airport. They no longer do that. You are responsible to getting your luggage to and from the bus, regardless of which direction you're going, either into the airport or out of the airport. Now, the bus service is available during basic daytime hours up to about 10 or 11 o'clock at night. When there's not as many flights coming in overnight, if for some odd reason your flight's delayed or whatever, at that point in time, there is other ground transportation available at the airport. You can rent cars if you want to. Just as an FYI, if you do rent car and bring it to the Disney resort, there are additional parking fees at the resort. So just be aware of that. You can also take a taxi or ride share through Uber or Lyft. That, if you're not taking Disney Magical Express, is probably the most affordable way to get from the airport to the hotel. It's about half the cost of what the taxis will charge. So just as an FYI, Uber or Lyft is the way to go on that side. For more information about Orlando Airport and parking and transportation, there's a list there. Also, just in regards to transportation on Disney property, there's a link there. Once you get to the hotel, you really don't need a car. There's bus transportation to all theme parks and Disney Springs, which is their shopping area. There's bus transportation to all those. They also have the monorail that runs around some of the resorts. They have Skyliners who runs from some of the resorts to the different theme parks, and you can ride those on your own if you want. Those gondolas, which are pretty cool. So you can do that. You don't need, you can get from place to place within Disney property relatively easy. So I wouldn't worry too much about travel once you're at the hotel. You'll be able to go from place to place without any issues. Next slide, please. All right, here's your hotel, Disney Coronado Springs Resort. So this is the Grand Destino Tower is what you're seeing here. There's also some other rooms, other areas of the hotel, but this is the tower. It's the newest area of this particular resort. Those rooms will range starting at $249 plus tax, and the non-tower rooms will be $179. The hotel has centralized food options. There's probably at least 5 or 6 different food options within the hotel that you can go to, from fast food all the way up to, you know, really nice sit-down dining. There's several bars. There's outside bars. There's one in the middle of the lagoon because there's a big lake within the property that you can go to, which also includes a nice, great running path. I walked on it. I didn't run, but the path around the resort is beautiful to walk or run on, and you'll see a lot of people doing that while you're there. They have a beautiful themed pool with a water slide and a fitness center, an arcade, in case you want it to not run or walk because you might think it's too hot. You can go to the fitness center while you're there. If you go to the next slide. Here's just a few pictures from in the hotel. The pool, which is called the dig site. This is one of many pools on the property, but that's probably the one that's going to be the most fun because and especially if you bring your family, your kids will love that pool because it has a nice water slide in that. One of the restaurants that's within the hotel is down at the bottom, the Maya Grill. So that's a great place. I ate there, so it's pretty good food. And the picture on the right-hand side is just a picture of the convention center that we will be having the event at. A few things to note when you're making your reservation is that you will receive an email from Disney after making the reservation that is a waiver that you will need to sign, and it's a waiver in regards to COVID-19, so that way you have all the information too that they're requiring on property while you're there. They do require face masks for anybody on property that is over the age of 2. So I think we all will qualify for that. So everybody will have to wear, at this point in time, those that they are going to require the face mask be worn. They will, and that you have to do your waiver. The other thing is that if you don't have the My Disney Experience app, you'll want to download that so that way you can link your hotel reservation to the app. They do touchless entry into your room, so you can use your phone, so you won't have to necessarily go to the front desk to get that. They also, a few things to note that I just wanted to let you know about too is currently you can buy, this is only for convention center or convention people, or in this case, the Congress, to purchase. Normal people can't purchase these tickets, but they do have partial tickets that you can buy, which are from at 1 o'clock or after, or 5 o'clock and after, which are at a reduced rate of the daily daily ticket price. So it's something you consider. Like if it's after 5 and you want to go to one of the theme parks, you can do that. The cost currently is $65 for an after 5 ticket price for that. You definitely, if you want those tickets, you have to buy it through our portal that is on the AMI website, which you can find with information about the hotel. One thing to note when you're buying tickets, you have to have a reservation to be able to enter the parks. So this is an added step that Disney has put in to make sure that the population within the park and how many people are in there at any one point in time is limited to what their capacity levels are. So you have to make a reservation to get into the park, but you have to buy the ticket first to be able to make the reservation. So you need to be able to, you have to check both areas to make sure you're able, so you want to look at the tickets and look at the reservations when you're buying it to make sure that your park you'd like to go to is available during that time. So start planning now if you plan on doing some park sightseeing while you're here. Next slide, please. All right, registering for the event. it's open. It's been open for a while, so you can feel free to go in and register. It is on the AAMI website, and the link is there to the exact place. It's in our store that you can register. The fees are below. Congress participants, $300 or $375. We're actually these dates on here, we actually changed. We're going to update those, and it says early bird is until June 15th. We're actually going to go to June 30th, so that's an update on here. So just make sure that we're going to extend that early bird a little bit later. Full-time students are $150 or $175 in the LMIC countries. Those are $150 and $175 after that June 30th date. If you have questions, you can contact either us at the ICEHTMC at AAMI.org, or you can contact IFMBE CED for more information. They can help you there. And as Tom mentioned earlier, we'll be talking about some of the different grants and that are available probably a little bit later in May. So I think my last slide is next, if I remember right. Yes. We really encourage you to, if you have industry buddies and colleagues that would love to have you encourage them to participate and exhibit at the Congress. Booths start at about $2,500, and you can find all those opportunities on our website. It's a great opportunity to connect face-to-face with all the global leaders that are coming in for the event. So consider it. We're happy to talk to you about it. We have a team at AAMI that's talking to companies that are interested in exhibiting or sponsoring the event. So just give us a call or contact us at that email address, and we will give you a call back and talk about all the benefits and different information you would need to know about exhibiting at this event or sponsoring this event. And I believe that is it for me, Tom.
Tom, I would like to jump in and just recognize all the work that Sherrie's team did in preparation for sharing those slides with you. For example, they scouted the country for the best city to host this event, where it's going to be the most effective transportation, location, attraction for us as professional, as well as for the family, and reasonable hotels and opportunity to entertain and have good time socially as well as professionally. I would like to, Sherrie, tell you thank you very much, because I know you looked in Washington, D.C., in Las Vegas, in San Diego, in New York, etc. And we landed up in Orlando with a very good combination of attractiveness and features. So
Dr. David, where are your Mickey Mouse ears? Go ahead.
And the second part that Sherrie talked about at her last slide is relating to exhibitors. As you're well aware, not only us, but industry as well, did not have opportunities for large events to come and show their products or promote their services and discuss those with you as potential customers. We need your help to connect with the different members of the industry to make them realize here is the opportunity that you were waiting for more than a year, and they would jump on it. We just need your help to connect with those, all the way from manufacturers to distributors to repair and service organization to universities and international not-for-profit organization. They all want to be and talk to us and talk to you. So please do realize that. Please bring suggestions. Sherrie and her team will follow up with that. Thank you.
And Brad, you may have some comments at this point also before we jump into the Q&A.
I actually don't. I think that that was shared very well. I'm hoping that that is the details that folks were looking for. We're eager to hear your questions now, see if there's other things you would like answers to as you prepare to come to the Congress.
Yadin and Brad will help with these, and Sherrie with the Q&A here in a moment. Let me just say, let me reiterate something I said a little bit earlier, and that is, we all know this is April, 5 months ahead today to the opening of the Congress on September 28th. We tried to really get you alerted this month to where you stand with being on the program. In the month of May, we're going to really try to have individual conversations with those 200 people accepted into the program to try to deal with a lot of your questions and, you know, wrestle with you with the decisions you have to make. And so we will start to answer questions in the month of May. So you can write to Calroy and I and Luis Fernandez, and we will respond to you. And I know there's questions about, am I on the program? What are the discounts? You know, what about posters? What about pre-recording? Virtual live, we're going to record the Congress as it happens, but virtual live, somebody calling in from the outside is very expensive. So we're not counting on that possibility, but there's so many other ways for you to present. And we're going to have those individual conversations in May. And like Sherrie and Brad just said, by the end of June, over the next 60 days, we've got, you know, travel restrictions will be lessening, we believe, and already seeing evidence of that. And we'll be able to work it out with you, even from coming from the hardest and longest trips around the world. We think we can work out those details in the next 60 days with you.